Welcome to the Mother Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey, mothers and daughters. So, as you know, every year we do an end of the year review, and each year it's something a little bit different and different people, different perspectives, different ideas. And I like that. I like that because I get a chance to share with great people like Miss Cindy Lee. Miss Cindy Lee,
Hello.
introduce yourself. No, I know they remember your face. Those that watch on a consistent basis, they can say, oh yeah, I remember her. But go ahead and tell them a little bit about you.
Yeah, so Cindy Lee, I'm located here in Southern California, really close to Disneyland and Huntington Beach, and I'm the founder of National Bucket List Day. And early this year in September, I also became the founder of California Bucket List Day. So pretty excited.
Hey, that's pretty exciting. So this would be a full year that you've done that?
Well,
Yeah.
National Bucket List Day was founded 3 years ago. California Bucket List Day was this year for 2025.
Oh no, that's pretty awesome though, because then that way you get to tap into a lot of folks that are over there in California, right? I was
Definitely.
just telling my friend a couple of months ago, I said, I got to get over to California. I haven't been in about 2 years. And usually I go at least once a year, if not just to see her, just to go to California and do things. But one thing I know for sure about this year, it may not have been perfect, but it definitely made us clearer. Clear on so many things. I know for me, clear on just who I want to be around, who I want to be associated with, what kind of things I like, what I don't like. I've never been a girl that's been afraid to say no to anything I didn't want to do. So that I'm very excited about too. So let's get started. I'm gonna just talk a little bit about, let's just talk a little bit about the year. So I would ask you, what is one of the biggest personal lessons that you learned for 2025?
Wow, I want to say be a servant leader in your community. I spent almost 6 months getting tested to be a kidney donor, and unfortunately, because of a previous surgery, that did not work out. But it is my mission to do whatever I can to help my friend get a kidney donor. So I've sent out letters to emails to producers and newspapers and stuff like that, and all kinds of podcasters around the U.S. to get more eyes on his story.
Okay, good. Because I know when we were messaging earlier, I was like, man, you got to go to Facebook and type in podcast guests. And when you type in podcast guests, hundreds of groups come up because whenever I'm looking for interview people, that's kind of how I find them. But just to get his story, and there's so many health and wellness podcasts out there. It's crazy that he could really get his message out to the masses and, even do, press releases or whatever he needs to do because he's still in need of the kidney, right?
Yes, and actually, Mo Train, he owns the podcasters on Facebook.
Yeah.
We're collaborating and we're still working on the dates. We're going to talk about it here in late January. We're going to do a yearly cruise for International Podcasting Day. So definitely need to be
So
part of that.
that'll be September the 30th, right? Because that's
I
International
don't
Podcast
recall
Day.
the exact name because we have 1900 national holidays, but yeah, I know it's sometime in September that we're planning.
It's September the 30th because we do a big show on that day as well. That's really cool. Well, I know for me for this year, just protecting my energy and just making sure that I know when and when not to. And that's on every single thing. That doesn't matter if it's business or if it's personal, if it's professional, it does not matter. Just knowing when and when not to. And just protecting that, for 2025 has been like a major thing. So any unexpected wins for the year for you, Miss Cindy?
Well, I turned 60 the end of July.
And you were on a boat somewhere, right?
Oh, but the 60th birthday, this is really great for any ladies listening. When you're doing a milestone birthday, do a Zoom meeting. So I had all these people on. I had a comedian on who was roasting me. I had one of my guys that was a Top Gun. And so he was quiet, but I just kept on telling everybody, hey, who wants to roast me? So a few people roasted me. It was really fun. So just doing little things like that.
Yeah.
And, making a difference in our community. It's really super important to do that.
That's really awesome. Well, 60 is a very, very, very important number right there. It's like our 20s, our 25s, our 40s, 50s, and then that 60 comes and it's like, hey, wait a minute, this is very, very amazing. So
It's the new
that's
30,
really,
right?
huh? It's
It's
the
the
new
new
30.
30.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hear it all the time. People say, "Oh, well, you don't look this certain age." And I'm like, "Well, age is really only a number. It's really about how you feel." I mean, I got all the
Hmm.
way to 50. I remember when I turned 50 3.5 years ago, I woke up and I was like, man, okay, maybe I'm not 18 anymore. I was still feeling like the girl who had to
Yeah.
get up and get dressed to go to school, right? And I was like, well, I guess I can scoot that up to 21 now. So it's kind of funny. It's really, really all about how you feel. I know for me, one of the big wins that I did is I made a couple of interesting decisions. And one of the decisions I did that I have never done in the 30 years of being in business is I decided to start doing some free consultations and free
Hmm.
consultations for people who did not understand what it meant to contract out their services to entities bigger than them. And so I thought to myself, Dawn, maybe they don't know what you're saying, and you may need to break it down, in a 45 to 1 hour session. And so doing that was very just different because what I learned is that everybody doesn't understand what it means to contract out their services, like the thing that they're already doing. For example, I'll just bring it down to you. I have a associate that's in the chamber with me who is a travel agent. And I was
Hmm.
saying to her, I said, Ashley, you do know that schools and colleges and all of them are always looking for travel agents. I say, and they look for 5-year contracts and you can get paid this much money, then plus whatever monies you earn with your agency. And she was like, really? I'm like, yeah, really? Did you not know? So now I've got her on the traveling bandwagon where she's applying for contracts and things like that. And I'm just like, take the thing that you do and service it out to entities that need you because of your expertise. So for me, doing those free consultations kind of opened up a whole new world for me. I don't think I'm going to go into 2026 doing them for an hour. I think I'm going to scale them back to 10 or 15 minutes, and that's it because it was super time consuming. And I have folders this big of people that I met with, which would normally have been about $40,000 possibly. But I just
Wow.
thought to myself, at least I felt good about educating people. I felt good about tapping them into my world that I've been in for 30 years. I felt good about just giving them the knowledge and saying, now do with it what you will. Some people took me up on it and said, hey, I want you to show me how to do that thing. I'm willing to hire you to do that. And then some people said, I don't want to put the effort in. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But at least I felt good that I educated people. So for me, educating people
Yeah.
further on something that possibly can change their entire legacy. That felt really good for me. So I looked at that as a win. Again, it's not going to be the same in 2026, but I still felt like it was a win because, my 30-year business anniversary was October the 2nd. So I started
Hmm.
doing the free consultations back in March. And all the way up until October 2nd, I was like, okay, that was great for a kickoff to a 30-year anniversary in business, just to see what that felt like. Because I would know so many people who already do consulting for free. And I've never done consulting for free. It's always been, pretty much paid for. But that was something that was different for me and I actually kind of enjoyed it. Now I know
Well,
that
I
you
want to share some love out to your girl. Yeah, because we're both travel agents, and I actually am consulting with the travel agent at the end of next month. We're in different companies, but we try to meet like once a month to give each other some help. So for your girl
yeah.
there at Chamber, she could contact a hospital group or
Uh-huh.
medical group,
Uh-huh.
and you can create packages like that. So that's a good way for her to build her business.
Yeah.
Also, you just talked about your business birthday.
Yeah.
Collect business birthdays
Yeah.
of your social media friends and start building relationships. So every year for, let's just say her friend Sally there in Houston. So
Hmm.
Sally's birthday is July 1st. So every year she'll send her a gift for on July 1st. And then let's just say September 28th is Sally's business birthday. Then every year she'll send her a business birthday gift. So you're building that relationship. And also she could start sending articles to all her clients just related to the travel industry. So she's building that strong foundation with her clients and get repeat customers and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of that. And then she signed up with the send out cards thing. And so
Oh,
she's
very
sending out
good.
the
Yeah.
cards and all that stuff. And she was showing me some little cookie thing that Some company does like a little cookie thing with a little message, and she's doing that. But I do know that she said that she's going to try to increase her budget for 2026. I told that'd be great because she's only 3 years in, so she's really on an
Mhm.
uptick of trying to grow her business. So I'm excited about that for her. I know so many different travel agents and they're doing so many different things. And I'm excited for
Yeah.
them because they love what they're doing in business as well. They're always asking me, why don't you become a travel agent? I'm like, it's just not something I want to
Yeah.
do.
Not for
I
everybody.
love the
Yeah.
way I'm scheduling my trips the way I do them now. And it's all been working out really, really well. But I do admire people who do whatever it is that they love to do.
Yeah,
So,
definitely connects us because I'm in a similar company and I could give her a PDF of all the different types of gifts
oh,
she could
nice.
send. That's really going to make a difference. I love collaborating with other agents. To me,
Yeah.
it's not competition, it's a win-win.
And not only for travel agents, but just for somebody like me in business. I mean, I have
Mm-hmm.
so many repeat
Team,
clients.
yeah.
I've had clients that have been with me for 10 years. I'm doing different things for, and to be able to send things, I have, some things that I send out right now, different reminders, different little, hey, did you read about this? Like you said, with the articles and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things is not just because they're clients, but like I'm always thinking about, oh, who could use this thing? Or who would be excited about that? Or who could benefit from that or something like that. So, I know that you mentioned that you're partnered with a charity and things like that, but for 2025, was there any one particular thing that gave you renewed hope in humanity?
Wow. Oh, I just want to say that it's so important to when you are connecting with people to just make them feel special. Call people and let them know you're grateful for them.
Right.
Compliment somebody in your community. Give back to a nonprofit. Like out here, we have all these different beach cleanups. We also have an organization that helps veterans get on a paddleboard. So
Yeah.
just be the person who's going to give back more to the community because then it comes back tenfold to your business.
Absolutely. It's kind of like in the same vein of what I'm thinking. As I've been networking for 2025, I've been networking extra on purpose, meaning I don't have to always give you a card or tell you anything about my business because I'm there to build relationships first. I would rather do
Exactly.
business with people that I have a relationship with than a one-off here and a one-off there and a maybe and a possibly over here. I'd rather have you as a relationship professional friend than anything because for me that's what's going to be important for me to get to know you because the one thing about people that they don't get is that they think sometimes that they're interviewing you to see if you're a good fit for whatever their circle is, but they have to understand that you're interviewing them to see if they fit into your circle because I'm so specific about people that I associate with. So I want to be able to get to know you, Cindy, so I can be thinking top of mind when somebody needs what Cindy has, when somebody wants to do something
Mhm.
in your area, when somebody needs something that you offer. So for me, I'm always listening for that particular thing, not necessarily, oh, I wonder if they can use me in business, or I wonder if they can, do this, or I wonder if they want a 501(c)(3 started, or like I'm not even really thinking
Yeah.
about my business first. I'm thinking more about
Sale is
who
last.
needs
The
what
sale is
you
very
have.
last.
Yeah, so for me, I'm just making sure that I'm staying within the thing that I know works for me. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they network just to, I call it, what I call it, card shuffle. They just want a card shuffle. And what I
Hmm.
found out when you card shuffle is that people just throw your card right in the trash.
Hmm.
They throw that card right in the trash if they feel like, well, they didn't even make a connection with me. They just wanted to throw their cards out to me. So I'll tell you, this next one, what's a trend that really helped you in business this year? I know for me, AI for the last 18 months has really been a helpmate for me in business, just for the research aspect of it, for the statistical aspect of it, for the travel, even for travel, I use AI for travel, especially if I'm looking for unique things to do. And one thing about me is when I take the ladies on a trip, I don't want to do what everybody else does. Yeah, all the pictures that you see, I'd rather take them to the market and go in a alley with, local people than to
Yes, not
go to the
local.
big
Yeah,
fancy
100%
mall.
local. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
instead of going to the brand restaurants or eateries or whatever, let's go eat with mom and pop where they cook. And so for me, AI has been a game changer in a positive way for me. And I think one of the reasons that AI has been positive for me is because I'm using it and not abusing it. I don't look at it every day to help me with everything in life because I actually have a brain. And so a lot of people are just using it like they use social media, where they get their everything from social media. I don't want to get my everything from AI, but if I don't know something statistical or something historical or something like that, I want to be able to go there and ask a specific question. What about for you?
I want to piggyback on that. So I actually contacted my mentor and I said, "Can you write a forward for my book?" He said, "I really don't have time."
Oh,
Because why don't you write it with AI? Send it to me and I'll prove it. And he just added his little tagline. It was done. I had
yeah,
it done in 3 minutes.
yeah, yeah. And see, that's what I always tell people, the biggest wins that we have are not always public. Sometimes they're personal. For me, being able to create the things that I create up here and to get a little bit of assistance to kind of hone in, because there's some people who are all about the numbers and some people are all about the statistics. I want to be able to go and get those facts. I can remember spending days and days doing research on certain things where now I can get it done in a few
In
minutes.
minutes, yes.
Yes, I can get it done in a few minutes. I can read through it. I can discern what I want to add and what I don't want to add. And I can formulate it in a sentence in the way I want to do it instead of just taking everything at face value like most people. One of the things I have to teach my students is don't write your grants with AI. One, if they're online grants, AI has written code behind it. And when you do any type of proposal online and you stick it into a system, it reads the coding so they know you didn't have any creativity behind it, that you just went and cut and paste. So at least one thing I would love to tell people is if you're going to use AI for that, at least try to sprinkle in your own sentences and your own paragraphs within the message so that at least it can say, okay, 80% of this at least you wrote instead of 5% you wrote or 2% you wrote, because those online things, they tattletale on folks. But I'm glad that AI has also been a resource for you as well. So
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
So
Thank
what's
you.
so what's one of the trends for 2025 that has kind of stuck on you a little bit and kind of is going to help you in life? One of the trends.
Well, I'll go to TikTok. I've been trying to do a lot of the trends on TikTok. Like the note one is really great, where you just go to the note section, you type a note, and you add music to it. Also, the really big one for this year is doing on the 31st, I'll do a compilation video of all the memories that I created for the year.
Oh, nice. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. That's awesome. I think on Instagram they call it like a photo dump. And see, I
Yeah.
don't have TikTok, so I don't know how it works.
Oh, okay.
I actually, for our travel group, we hired Angel to be the marketing director. And so she has actually now set up TikTok and she's going to run that part for us because I'm just like, okay, I'm managing my personal life, I'm managing my
Mhm.
business life. And then the second and third business, it's like, okay, I don't mind delegating those things out. So since she loves social media, I'm gonna definitely pass that thing over there to her. So I will say one of the trends, if we're just sticking with trends, one of the trends that has, I would say, inspired me has been all of the dance trends that are everywhere on social media.
I did one at the airport a
I
couple weeks
find
ago.
them to be so much fun. I
Oh,
find
yeah.
them to be inspiring, especially when I'm seeing like the little kids doing it with mom or grandma or grandpa. I'm finding it to be a way that it's actually bringing people together in family to do activities again. Like, for example, in my younger days, Sunday dinner was the thing that brought us together.
Game
Board games
night.
and
Yeah.
things with my kids was the thing that brought us together, playing Uno, listening to records and music and things like that. But to see the little kids and their moms and grandmas and all that doing all these different little dances, I'm finding it to be a trend that actually has been inspiring. I know a lot of people have things to say negatively about social media, but I say look at social media and where you hang out at. Like I hang out mostly on Instagram and then Facebook. But I would say look at the where you hang out the most and find the inspiring thing in it. Like I used to say, oh my gosh, I really don't want to be on Facebook anymore because it's just such a downer. So what I did to cure that this year is that I went in and I found all my Mini Cooper groups, and I just flooded my thing with Mini Cooper groups. And so every time I open up my book now, my Facebook now, it's Mini Cooper groups, and then anything else I want to find, I can go and find those things. But it kind of floods out all of the negativity from me having to unfollow people just because they're such Debbie Downers and negative, and they
Mhm.
allow the things in the world to consume their real lives. Like our real lives is what happens when the doors are closed and we're all along with our thoughts and things like that. Like I'm protecting all of that. I often tell people, in the next, I guess we're going on 4 years now because I used to say 5 years, but in the next 4 years, I'll be one of those ladies who doesn't even have a cell phone. I'll probably go back to a landline and get on a farm somewhere. That's how
Mhm.
much I'm protecting my peace and everything is that I'm kind of over all of the overstimulation of social media and phones and laptops and just everything, and just trying to incorporate that piece and that little piece for me in what I do for work so that it doesn't consume me. And that's kind of what I'm really protecting right now. But I'm enjoying those trends on the different social media sites. It's really kind of been good. Have there been any books or podcasts or anything for this year that has inspired you? I know some people have an annual book. Like for me, my annual book that I review every single year is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I've been reading it since I was 25 years old. I review it every first of the year. Like I'll be reading it next week to just kind of, refresh myself so I can stay in my discipline. Is there any podcasts or books or anything that has worked for you this year that is going to follow with you?
Well, there's a book out there called Think and Go Rich by Pat
Mm-hmm.
Groff. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you read that. And it's 30 Days of Shameless Gratitude. So that's a really good book. Also, you could follow Bob Berg, the Go Giver, and Go Giver Sell More.
I had him
And
on
I
my
I
podcast.
heard of him many years ago, and he's actually, I talk about him in the beginning of my book. He's actually one of the inspirations for writing my
He
book.
sent me all of his books. I had a podcast back in 2013 called Stuck on Miss Dawn. And basically, people would tell me what stuck on them that makes them them. And then I would tell them what sticks on me. And I would have a different topic every year. And I did it for 3 years. But he was on my podcast and I really, really enjoyed him. He was just,
Yes.
he was your down to earth, amazing guy that you could just talk to all day long. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Any travel highlights for you this year? Like I know you've had many probably, but what's the one travel highlight that you're just like, oh yeah, I got to do that again?
Well, let me give you a story. So I took a Carnival Vista cruise about a month ago,
Uh-huh.
and I'm at the Celebration Key, which is one of their private islands, and they have a bar that has these swings, so you
Yeah.
can swing on, order your drink. I'm sitting next to the guy and just start talking to him. So, how are you? You here with friends? He goes, yeah, yeah. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm here with friends too. And we started to talk, and he owns a travel magazine. And just ironically, he did an amazing ad. He's going to have me in an event in Orlando, an event that has like travel agents and different companies. So you just never know who you're going to meet on vacation. And so we're building a really great relationship. I'm sending him a Thanksgiving card, a New Year's card here tomorrow, and just thanking him for that.
Yeah.
And absolutely amazing because we don't know what's going to happen when we're on vacation, and just start building relationships with people because you
It's
never know what
absolutely
it'll lead
true.
to.
Absolutely true. And um, any plans for 2026? Any epic trips planned for 2026?
Well, I want a trip to Portugal, so I'm going to do that in the
Is that the
fall.
one that's leaving out of LAX?
It does leave out of LAX, yeah.
Is it the 17-day one?
No, it's a 14-day one.
Okay, that might be the one. I almost went on that one for November and I didn't go, so I said I'm gonna try to fit it in for 2026. Is that the one that goes? It goes like to Colombia somewhere. It goes to somewhere in Costa Rica. I mean, is that the one? Who's the ship? Which
No, no,
ship?
this one is through Exotica, and yeah, so it's flight, hotel, tours. Hold on. So it's Portugal, Lisbon, has another city I can't recall, and then also Nazari. So I don't know if you're familiar with Nazari, but Nazari has the largest wave in the world. It breaks in November though. It breaks over 100 feet. So that's on my bucket list. And of course, National Bucket List Day, we're doing Margaritaville Resort, San Diego in the latter part of April.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. I've been hearing a lot of great things about the Margaritaville tour. The ship, I have a friend who left out of Florida and her and her husband, they're like, we cannot wait to go back. I'm like, she's a travel agent too. And I'm like, that's really amazing. Cause she was asking me if I was
Yeah.
interested in going on a Margaritaville one with my ladies. And I said, well, I'll ask them, but I know that one would be really, really, really fun. I'll have to tell Angel about that one too, because of her. I'm gonna ask Angel. Let me write
Yeah, well,
that.
the Margaritaville is the resort. but I do
Um,
have a comedian who he does comedy on Margaritaville Cruise,
oh,
which is later on this year. So we meet at one of those cruises.
yeah, let us know. Definitely when you get the dates, let
Yeah.
us know because we've got so much on our schedules for 2026, especially travel. Let us know as soon as you know, and that'll be great. Well, I will
Okay.
say we just had a end of the year epic trip. I always have something at the end of the year that's epic, but for this year, I would definitely say it was the trip that I just got back from a couple of days ago. So we did Barcelona, Spain. We did Marseille,
Ooh.
France. We did four places in Italy. We did Tunisia, Africa, and London. So that was really epic. I know for 2025, my epic trip
Wow.
was when I went to the Middle East. That was really, really awesome to be able to go to Abu Dhabi and Bahrain and all of that stuff. So that was my end of the year. And we're just already planning for our 2026 end of the year epic trip. And we already kind of registered while we were on this cruise for next year. But for December, we're going to do Greece. And so with the Greece tour that MSC is doing, it's going to be Greece, Turkey, and Italy. So we're kind of getting two extras, whereas we just kind of wanted to do the Greek Isles. But our bucket list is to do that flying dress photo and all of that. And so I've already contacted a
Oh, yes,
photographer. I
definitely.
always deal with local photographers because I'd rather spend my money local. And so, like this time at Barcelona, we had a lady that took us around all day long. Her name was Adriana. Amazing. I found her on Fiverr, and she did our photography and she did us a tour. So she told us, showed us all the historical place. She stayed with us for like 6 hours, got amazing photos, and in the end result, she sent us about 150 photos and video.
Oh,
And
wow.
so,
How
yeah, she
amazing. How memorable is that?
I mean, let
Wow.
me tell you, it was so memorable. And then
Yeah.
the fact that she was so nice, so amazing, so knowledgeable. She lives there. So, I mean, I like to deal with the locals. Like I'm saying, I like to eat local. I shop local. I spend
Mhm.
money, local. So anytime I'm going to go and we do international travel. We always get a day photographer, a day driver, different people that we can spend money locally instead of trying to find, somebody else to do it. Like, for example, our 2026 trip, we're going to film it because we're going to start our short film travel. We're calling ourselves the real international ladies of purpose. So we're going to start our little short film. So this
Mhm.
photos and videos that we got this time, I'm actually going to outsource it to somebody on Fiverr and let them start off the short film right there so that when we go next year, we can kind of have a number two. Because in the end, there's a documentary that I want to do for travelers, travel agents, folks that have moved abroad, just anybody in the travel space. I love travel so much that I just kind of love to hear perspectives from other people, why they love to travel, what they get out of travel. I know for me,
Mhm.
it's meeting people locally, it's tasting great food, it's being in a different environment, it's all of the everything that the everyday people who live in those places experience is what I want to experience. And to be able to take friends with me, that right there is like, it's like the icing on the cake, kind of really. So let's talk about some health and wellness breakthroughs. I know that you've got something that you'd like to share about something that you were involved with for this year. So let's talk about that and then I'll share.
So back in the end of April, one of my friends announced that he needed a kidney. So starting in early May, I started the whole process until October. But unfortunately, because of a previous surgery that I had 20 years ago, it wasn't safe for me to undergo the surgery. So
Right,
my mission is to do whatever I can to connect them to podcasters, newspaper, local media, and make a difference. And
right,
anybody in the United States can be a donor.
right,
Just have to
right.
go through the processes.
Yeah. And he's tried everybody in his family, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a good message, for anyone out there who's willing and able to do it. Hopefully they can reach out to you. I'll have your information in the description bar and they can reach out to you because I mean to be able to help this gentleman, he's got a wife and a child and everything, right? And
Yeah.
he's right there in
Yeah.
California, right?
Yes. And there's no cost to the donor. You just
Exactly.
have to go through different testing. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. 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 Well, one of the things that I've put together for this year, not just for myself, but for any other ladies that I'm going to be connecting with in the next 6 months, is that we're going to go over to Turkey and get that 3-day wellness exam thing that they do for $700. I showed the list of the
Ooh.
brochure of all the 40 and 50 things they do, and my doctor said, well, one, I wouldn't be able to do any of this on you unless you had a pre-existing issue. She said, because your insurance won't
Hmm.
pay for it and it would cost you over $100,000 to have all this done. She said,
Oh, wow.
also it includes eye exam, dental exam, all your well woman exam, all your, different blood work, MRI, CT, I mean, all kinds of everything, all the markers in your
Does
body.
it do bone density also?
Everything, yes. It's seven hundred
Oh, that's
dollars, and
wow. That
and they pick you up from your hotel, take you to the Memorial Hospital. You stay there all day. They feed you. I mean, you spend the time there to get it done. And I'm like, for $700, I've got some ladies that I just want to make it a whole wellness retreat where we can go for 5 days. 3 days will be with the wellness. 2 days will be for us to kind of frolic. And I'm just like, that would be really awesome. And I think it would be great to kind of kick that off for the end of the year trip since we'll be back in Turkey in Istanbul and Izmir. So we won't have time to do that when we go on the cruise though, because we'll only be there for 2 days, whereas the exam is 3 days and you really kind of want to be relaxed. But I've been thinking about this for over 2 years now, and I'm like, I can just spend the $700, spend $700 or $800 on a flight. I've got points where I can stay in Marriott. So I'm good. I've saved my points up these last few months or 12 months just to be able to pay for those hotels and cut down on some of the expenses. And I'm telling the ladies, I'm like, all of us are over 50 because that's the group, that I have the travel group for. All of us are over 50, and it's like you'd want to know right at this middle age here, almost. We call it middle age, but you have to get to 100. But it's like we should know the things that are happening in our body and not have to be beholden to, well, does my insurance pay for that? Or, hey, am I going to have to mortgage my house to pay this $100,000 to get these exams that I want to be able to know? Because I'm one of those girls, I believe in preventative. I'm not going to sit around and wait for something to happen. I'm going to, the other thing I learned this year is, nobody's coming to save you. You got to save yourself. So it's kind of like
mhm.
I'm saving myself without, worrying about the insurance to come and save me or wait until something, happens down the road when I'm 60, when I can just kind of look at those markers right now. Because I know when I went to go and inquire about getting a full body exam, they were like, oh, that's $19,000. And I was like, okay.
Oh, my Lord mercy.
Oh,
Wow.
we have financing. You can do it through Care Credit. And I'm like, I don't do credit. I don't do bills. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't, I don't want the
Yeah,
debt,
you got the high interest, yes.
Yeah. And then you have to, after you pay the $19,000, then you have to pay them 700 just to read you the results. And it's all
Wow.
outsourced. Somebody does the scan, somebody gets the results, and somebody else reads it. It's like, why can't you take that $19,000 and split it between the three of y'all? Like, come on, guys. So but I'm
Yeah.
finding it to be very wise to just kind of save yourself. I'm finding that to be super wise on the health and wellness tip. But another thing,
Yeah, well, I'm glad you say that because the reason that I can't get the kidney donation is because many, many years ago, when I was 15 years old, I was having issues. And when I was 39, I finally found a doctor. So I'm going to be an advocate for people to get properly diagnosed with endometriosis. Yeah, because I've had 5 female surgeries because of that. So that I think that's my sole purpose in life is to help young 20, 30-year-old women get properly diagnosed because a lot of women get improperly diagnosed.
they do, and especially when it comes to fibroids and all these other things, they tell them it's one
Mhm.
thing and it's something else. And it's like, why not go where you can know for sure? And then you get your packet of information, and then you do with that what you will. You can either go back to your regular doctor, go back to your naturopath, to start on a preventative method for yourself. So
And
uh,
that's a long time to be in pain from age 15 to almost 40 years old.
that is absolutely crazy. I just was listening to a gentleman today, and he was doing a podcast, and he was saying that a lady, and this is unbelievable, but it's a true story, that a lady carried a dead baby in her body for 40 years. I'm
What?
like, during your well woman exam, was there not a smell in your body? Like I was so confused, but something happened where she got such excruciating pain in her pelvic that she was just like, I can't take
Hmm.
this anymore. I'm forcing them to do these exams. I'll pay for it out of pocket. And that's where they found the baby that never made it to life, that been in her
Oh my
body since
Lord.
she was
Yeah. Wow.
40 since she was 40. And I'm like, did she lose the baby and they didn't do a complete DNC? Like, I don't even know. After I heard the story, I just kind of, my brain just went like, oh my God, that's just so horrible for her to have gone through that. So,
Oh yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
So
you got to
tell
be
me,
an advocate of your own health, 100%.
yeah, so I'm going to put that little retreat together. I've been talking about it for a while now, but I've added it to the calendar. And so this whole next 6 months, I'll be talking to ladies as I'm networking and seeing who else is interested. I hope I get maybe 5 or 6 ladies that would love to go and do this as an honor to themselves, you know? All
Yeah.
right. So our next question is going to be about small habits that made a big difference for you this year. What are some of the small habits that made a big difference for you this year?
Well, as you know, I like to call at least 5 people a day
Oh,
to
good.
show my gratitude.
Yeah.
And I talk about it in my book is what I do is I use Uber Eats or Grubhub to send somebody a business birthday gift or a birthday gift or just because. Like when it was National Donut Day, I sent a couple girls in Seattle, other girl in California, another girl in North Dakota, a gift through Grubhub. So
Oh,
that's definitely a win because it's a lost art. People aren't really thinking that. Just like sending somebody a card, people don't think that. They send a text. And
yeah.
it's so impersonal. You
I
want
was
to
gonna say
just
it's
get
so
the great.
impersonal to just, yeah, it's so
Yeah.
impersonal. I'm such an old-fashioned person that I'll just pick up the phone and call people. I'll just pick up the phone and call and say, "Hey, how are you doing? Well, how's your day going today?" Okay. I could have
Mhm.
done that through text, but sometimes to hear the other person's voice and not knowing if maybe they need that human touch as well to hear somebody else's voice instead of all the texting and everything. Just kind of getting back to the basics of staying there. One of the things for me that has continued to make a difference for me, and people laugh at me about it all the time. I love to get my little day naps. It helps to reset my
Oh
brain.
yeah.
It helps to reset my nervous
Hmm.
system. It just helps to reset. I was laughing with someone and they were saying, well, like, what's the weirdest date you had? And I said, well, back when I used to date, I had a nap date. And they were like, a nap date? I said, yeah. I was talking to somebody. I think this is like I'm in my 20s. I was talking to somebody and I invited him over and I said, just to have a nap. And he was just like, yeah, that's weird. I bet she means nap. No, no, she really means nap. So, and
Hey now.
after we had the nap, he was like, I haven't had a nap since I was a kid. It was like
Mhm.
this was he said,
Super
and
important.
usually I can't just shut down and just sleep in somebody's bed. He's like, man, I never slept so bad. I was like, I'm telling you, a nap can do it for you. They laughed at me so hard. They're like, what? That doesn't work in 2025. I'm like, it may not work with the guys you're talking to, but you got to train people to, treat you how you want to be treated. And so it can work in any year. It really does not matter. That's what I say. So
Yeah.
let's talk about some boundaries. So what are some of the boundaries that you want to take into not just the end of this year, but over into 2026, some boundaries, whether personal or professional?
Just learn to say no. Sometimes it's okay to say no. For me, it's hard, but
Yeah.
I've learned like once I turned 60, I actually changed a lot of the trajectory of what I was doing before. So,
Amen.
and it's okay to say no, or maybe you can have someone help that person. There's ways around that.
Yeah, I tell you, it was just built in me to know how to say no. And I think the reason is because I never like to feel overwhelmed,
Hmm.
consumed with too many other people's issues, because then it takes away from my own self. And so for me, it's always been really easy to say no to people. And I think it in me, because I don't really think on the other end of, oh, but what if I hurt their feelings? Well, what if I overextend myself? And if
Yeah.
I'm no good to anybody by overextending myself, then it won't make sense for it just won't make sense for anything. And so I've been like that even with my kids. I used to tell them when they were little, and I still say it today, I have a life that doesn't include you, just so that I want them to
Yeah.
think for themselves when they need something. I have this thing that I read maybe about 3 months ago that has just stuck on me like glue, like it won't let me shake it. And I saw it I was somewhere and I saw it on a picture. I saw it on a picture.
Yeah, bless you, babe.
Thank you. And it said, vibe so high that you figure it out. That has just stuck on me like glue. And anytime something comes up in the last several months that I'm just like, I wonder how to fix that or how to do that, or I just remember vibe so high that you figure it out. And I liked hearing my daughter yesterday. She was asking me, something
No,
got me.
bless you, babe.
She was at,
Bless you.
thank you. She was asking me something about something. And she said, don't worry, I'm going to figure it out. She's like, oh, don't worry, I am going to figure that out. And I was like, I love that. I love that
Mm,
she knows that
Take
at some point
responsibility.
she's going to have to just figure it out. Like without or with mom, you're going to have to figure it out. So I love
Mhm.
that she kind of said that. So any moments of reinvention for you this year? I know for
Mm,
me, I stay in my purpose. I stay in my lane. I stick with what I know. I stick with those things that, I can do in my sleep. And I learn something new every single day. Doesn't mean I have to make it my thing, but I learn. There's not a day that goes by that I don't learn something. And I'm not talking about gossip or anything like that, but like something that I know how to do. Oh, I was looking at something the other day and they have this new program and it's called Learn a New Skill. Learn a new skill every
mhm.
day. So it's a
Yeah.
program where you can buy a program and you can get a new skill that you learn every day. And I saw some ladies learning how to sew and learning how to make flower bouquets. And
Paint.
I
Yeah.
was just like, man, imagine being like, for example, in an independent living facility or, being a person of a certain age and you don't want to give up your vitality and you want to stay productive. Having a program like that, I just was like, I was kind of inspired by it because sometimes people count you out after you get to a certain age or sometimes people think they know everything and there's no room to learn, where we all know that's a complete lie. There's always room to learn. And so I'm continuously learning every single day. What about for you? Any moments of reinvention for 20?
Yeah. So I talked about it on TikTok this week. When was the last time you did? Is the internet going okay? I got out.
It's cutting in and out, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. So it keeps on saying it's unstable. Yeah. So when was the last time you
Okay, right now it's unstable. Yeah, it's going
yours
out.
unstable too?
Okay, okay, so now we'll say it again.
Yeah. So when was the last time you did something for the very first time? Learn to paint, skydive, write a book, become a podcaster, be a podcast guest, all those different things that you can turn into 2026. And
Yeah,
of course, you know what time of year it is? Vision board time.
yeah, yeah.
I actually do an 8.5 by 11 green on my visions on there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think
Yeah.
somebody was telling me they went to a vision board party today, and I said, "Yeah, I usually start doing my vision board in June, just simply because so many things
Right?
start coming to me. Like when I get my new calendar. I used to get my new calendar every October, but now it's for some reason it's right around May or June. It's like the calendar for 2026 was already getting pretty heavy back in June, so it's like, okay.
Mhm.
What about community impact? I know I like to volunteer. Like you said, you like volunteer, and I love serving. I love being in my different groups, and when they need help with different things at outreach and education and things like that, I love to kind of step in when I can and make the best of my production as far as what I do and what I can do and without overextending myself because I'm always considering all the things that I have going on in life. And because I love my naps and I love to go to bed early, and I just kind of like
Um,
certain things that keep me going and keep me who I am. What are some of the community impacts that you've gotten involved in for 2025?
Well, I do this amazing event. It's 26 years my friend started. It's a polar plunge and fundraiser, and we have about 50 items that were donated. But that's what I do as community. Also, the Surfrider Foundation. But as another impact, about 2 years ago, I was watching a online video, Steve Harvey, with this grandpa and daughter. They were doing all this great stuff on TikTok, and he used to be a football player, and
Mm-hmm.
he talks about how your mess becomes your message. And it really resonated with me because I have a chapter, a module called Your Mess Becomes Your Message. So I reached out to him. He's actually going to be on my podcast. He's going to be featured in the book. So he's a big impact because he had like a certain lifestyle as a football player, but now he's changing the whole trajectory and his life is totally different by creating those family videos and cute little granddaughter out there and he's just
Oh,
really making a difference and his book is very powerful. So little
what's,
impacts like that and
what's
of
the name
course
of his book?
doing spotlights on other businesses.
What's the name of his book?
I'll give you the name in the show notes.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll give that
okay,
to you here in a little bit.
no problem. Well, the next question is on beauty and wellness tips. Let me tell you something. On those days where I don't have to make up my face and I can just throw my hair in a bun, those are my best, most exciting days. Even on the cruise, there were days where I'm just like, I'm not doing makeup today. Like we've got a
Hmm.
24 hours on on the sea. I'm not doing makeup today. I'm going natural. I don't want to put makeup on. I don't want to get dressed up. I don't want to oil down. I'm not interested today. What are some of those things that kind of give you a little freedom? Because we women, we really do it.
Well, as you know, what's really super important is having those me times. I actually was just talking to a lady podcaster that I met 3 years ago today, and a couple weeks ago, I told her you need to have your me time. And so she talked to me today. She said, I had my me time. I'm like, that's good because we cannot work 7 days a week. Although a lot of us probably think we work 7 days a week. Like I have people who will run, like I took October off, but I had admins run the back end. So it looked like I was there. And that's
Mhm.
really super important as an entrepreneur is to have someone who could run your stuff. You don't want to be running your business 24/7. You don't want
Right.
your business to run you.
Right.
Super important to
Because
have that
basically
planned
what you
out.
do is you end up creating a job for yourself instead of running a
Yeah.
business. So yeah, that's very, very true. I wish a lot of people, kind of knew that and knew how to take off. Like I had so many people asking me before we left, how are you going to be gone on vacation for 3 weeks? I said, I set up a business that works for my lifestyle. I didn't set up a business to work a job. I left a job when I was 22. I did not set up my business to have to work like that. And smart people know that as an entrepreneur, you can work a certain amount of months during the year and take off a certain amount of months if you do it right. And so
Yeah.
she said, I'd like to learn a little bit more on how to do that since I run my business. And I'm like, it just depends on what your lifestyle is. Not everybody's lifestyle. Like, for example, I was saying to her, I said, you have little children. I don't. My kids are grown and gone. Okay, so I don't have
Mhm.
kids to focus on. She has a husband. So I'm like, you have to give attention to that other human that's in your house. I don't have a husband. So you have to look at your lifestyle and have a business that runs around your lifestyle. And if that business, like I always said, I want a business that runs from any corner of the earth as long as I have my computer or Wi-Fi. I can do business from anywhere. Because one thing I noticed is that my clients never ask me, so where are you now? They never say, well, why are you not in Texas? They don't care. You know what they care about? Get the things done for me that I paid you for. That's all they care about. And that's how
Mhm.
I treat it. It's like, I already know that, I can do my work from anywhere that I want to be. And so I like that. So I know for me, as far as this next question on mind shift sets. And one of the mind shift sets that I set up about 3 years ago, and I've continued it, is that in one of my particular businesses, I take no salary. And the reason I don't take a salary is because we're building something bigger. So those funds that I would take a salary from, we're using that to actually buy 15 acres of land and create a compound where I want to do a little small community for senior citizens, but also have my house built on there and the kids' house built on there, and just kind of have a compound where it's ours and we own it, just like the house that I have now. I own it. I paid for it in my 30s. So I decided, you know what, just don't take a salary from that particular business. You've got these other things going. So just don't take a salary from that one. And most people don't understand it because they're just like, well, that's the big business. I'm like, that's why I chose that one for the big project. And so
Wow.
haven't missed $1 of it just simply because I know what the bigger goal is. So for me, that was a complete mind shift set, just simply because I didn't have to do it that way, but I chose to do it that way so that anything that I do going forward is going to be debt free. And I don't have to owe anybody anything because that's one of my pet peeves is to owe anybody anything. And don't know why my mind is set up like that, but I kind of like it. I don't like owing anybody anything. So I think it all started when I was 16. I got my first credit card for a store called Pally Royal. And I thought, oh my
Oh,
gosh, that's so amazing. By the time I got divorced, though, I had 20 credit cards. And I was like, oh,
oh,
wait a minute,
geez.
I still want to buy a house. I had to sit there and literally pay all of those credit cards off and make negotiations and all of that before I was able to buy this home. So it was like, I never want to get into that kind of debt again. I was like, that was a good discipline story for me to know that I have this mindset of if you can't afford it, then you don't need it right now. You can get it later. So what about you for mind shift sets for 2025 or going forward?
I would say protect yourself. Yeah. So if you, I really do believe it's important to have a life insurance because we don't know what's going to happen in our life. And you want to protect your property. If you have a home, it's
Yeah.
super important that you protect your property and your children and all. Because a lot of people, something happens, unexpectedly. So just make sure that you protect your investments.
Yeah, very true. I was talking to a lady about this few weeks ago before I left, and she was saying that, she has a home, she has cars, she has a business, and all these different assets, and she's 56, never been married, doesn't have any kids, doesn't have a lot of family. And she's like, I'm almost afraid to even buy anything else because it can't come with me anyway. She's like, and I don't have anybody to give all this to.
Mhm.
I said, there are ways that you can make sure that nieces and nephews, and she's like, I don't have any of that. She's like, I was an only child. She was telling me her story, and I said, you need to talk to maybe a financial advisor and maybe get some advice from an expert who can kind of tell you how other people are doing it because you're not in this boat by yourself. There's literally other, people out here that are on their own and don't have children and don't have a lot of family that they can leave something to, but they've acquired all of these things for life. And I'm like, you need to talk to an expert because
Yeah,
she
like a
she was kind of
yeah.
down in the dumps about it, like I have all these great things, but nobody to leave it to, or don't have any kids, and at 56, I'm not having any. And I'm like, I understand what you're saying. So yeah. So what about friendships and
Yeah.
relationships?
Well, Auntie,
Huh? Oh yeah, and
what's that?
yeah.
I
You were
said
saying,
Auntie Dawn can be a part of that process. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, I have 4 kids I can, leave stuff to, but I do have a sister that doesn't, have any kids, never been married. And I'm just like, I'm telling these folks, you need to talk to an expert, somebody who's a financial analyst or something, and they can kind of help you with what maybe you need to do. At least have your affairs in order for something. If you want to donate it to somebody, or if you want to do your genealogy and find out if you do have some half sibling, I don't know. Like there has to be a solution that she doesn't have to be down in the dumps about it. But what about relationships for 2025? I know 2025 has been very interesting for me as far as building relationships. I've met some really, really awesome people, for this year through networking, through events, through referrals and things like that. So it's been really interesting. I've gotten, away from some people, but I've also built some
Mhm.
relationships with people. I'm not saying,
Same. Yeah.
and I look at everybody as you're either here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And time will absolutely
Correct.
tell us which one it is. I believe time will tell you, what it is. So, yeah. What about any cultural moments for you this year that you're just kind of like, I know for me, everything I get through cultural moments, not just because I live in Houston, Texas, and we're a melting pot of everybody, but just through my travels for this year, I got a first time to go to Mexico City this year, first time to go to Guadalajara.
Oh,
First, a
beautiful.
lot of
Yeah.
first that I got to meet local people and talk with them, and some of them I still have in my WhatsApp that we kind of speak to, like even the people I met in the Middle East last year, a few people I met in business events, that were on the cruise as well. We're still kind of, hey, how you doing type of thing. So what about for you for this year?
Can I do a shout out to a business in the Caribbean?
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jack Shack, located in Turks and Caicos, and I for a couple months was trying to reach out to them to do an interview. So I actually was on site when I got off the cruise. I got to visit there,
Yeah.
and I said, "Hey, is the manager, general manager here?" So he took me in his office. We did an amazing interview, and what really inspired me about that place is 24/7, however long that beach club is open, there's somebody on the beach picking up trash.
Oh, I love
Just
it.
absolutely
Keeping it
amazing, and the
beautiful,
cod
huh?
salad, yeah. Yeah, so my culture answer is just, get yourself engulfed in the culture wherever you're at. Get to know people, get to know the locals, like you were saying earlier. Super important.
I absolutely agree because you just never know who you're going to meet. You never know how that's going to turn into a friendship or relationship or whatever. So I absolutely agree. That's so cool that you got to meet that individual. That's really good. So so
Mhm.
the next question on here, we're going to kind of go into the year. Now, this year itself has been very, very, very interesting. And I'm not just talking about all the worldly things. I'm just talking about I've been talking to people and they've been just talking about the different changes that have happened for them, happened to them, happened with them, and that it has just been just an uptick of excitement that they're looking forward to 26 and 27 and 28, as opposed to in 2020 everybody was a little down, 2021 everybody was over it, 2022 we were like busting out of the seat,
Right?
2023 we were starting to breathe again, 2024 we caught a first breath, 2025 we're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually up and running and breathing. And so have there been any things this year that have like stood out to you, like yeah, I'm on a good path, or yeah, I can make these changes, or yeah, I feel back like normal.
Well, it's super important to surround yourself by those who celebrate you.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
if they're not celebrating you and tolerating you, and it's okay, family, friends, business partners, whatever, and this is a new year coming up. I mean, it might be a time to, create more boundaries and create those relationships.
that's right.
And I talk about it in my book also. People are here for a reason and people are here for a season. So get rid of the seasoners and keep those reason people in your
Right,
life.
right. So you're kind of on the same trajectory as me when I say a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I mean, it's like it becomes very evident. Time tells everything. Well, I know for me, for this year, it has just been an eye opener of, and I don't know I can't put a name to it. I can't pinpoint it, but my discernment has been so strong this year that it's been scary. Like, for example, my dreams have been so vivid, I literally had to start a dream book because
Wow.
a couple times, for example, I had a dream about something when I woke up that morning. What happened in the dream actually happened in real life. Freaked me out. I
Oh
had
my
a
gosh.
dream that was so vivid one night that when I woke up, I still had the nostalgic feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get back there. That was weird. Weird in a good way, though,
Hmm.
not weird like spooky. I had a dream one night that was so vibrant that I know probably in this real lifetime, I'll probably never see the colors that I saw. I can't even describe them. I'll never see the colors that I saw in that dream. And this is just me regular dreaming. This is not me. This is just regular me. I don't need anything to help me sleep. As soon as my head hits the pillow, it's a done deal. I've never had to take anything to go to
Right.
sleep. I don't take any type of prescription drugs, never have. And so I had to start a dream journal because they have been so interesting. And then I have to go back in there and say, oh, well, that happened. Go back to the date and go,
Hmm.
that dream happened. I mean, very, very interesting. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I was making a joke and I said, hmm, wouldn't it be interesting if the awake time was actually the dream and the dream time was the real life? It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you know, you start thinking about crazy things like, wow, that was like the last night when I was dreaming, when I woke up, I was so tired because I'd done so many things in my dream last night. I had a ball. It was amazing. And when I woke up, I was just like, oh, whew, that was a lot going
Write
on
it
in that
down. Write
dream.
it down.
Yeah, it was a lot going on. So I
Yeah.
have to, I keep my dream journal like right on my bed. I have to because when I wake up, if I don't immediately write it down, I don't get the all the little intricate details and things in it that I know I'm going to want to go back later and read so that I can remember what I saw, what I read. I mean, down to the point of faces and names
Wow.
of people that I don't know, but I know I'm going to know them. Like I
Mhm.
had a dream the other night that I was somewhere doing something. I was busy and I ran into my kid's dad when he was a teenager.
Oh, really? Wow.
I didn't know him when he was a teenager. I didn't meet him.
I wonder what
He was
he's eating.
48 when I
Huh.
met him. So it was really weird. And the dream went in slow motion. And I was looking around him like, oh, wow, that is him. And then I looked around again and I go, how is that him? I didn't know him then. And then I just kept going in slow motion, going, yeah, that's him as a teenager. It was correct.
Oh, wow.
I have the most amazing dreams ever. Like sometimes I'm so excited to get to sleep that it's really,
Well,
really
that's a great idea because when I have dreams about things, more things that need to be in my book, and it's driving me crazy because you don't want to go up that rabbit hole. You want to use that for your second edition.
you
So
do.
I'll run in my office because it's across from my bedroom. I'll write
Oh,
it
good.
down. But
Good,
that's
good,
a good
good.
idea to have it by your bedside. Yeah, I
I
like
had to
that.
put it right by my bedside because when I wake up, I got to capture it right at that moment. And something really weird happened this year that I'm super, super excited about. And I don't know where it's going to lead to, but I had a dream from when I was a teenager. I think I was maybe about 14 or 15. And I was like, oh, remember in my dream, I was like, oh, remember you have an iPhone. Now, this was the 80s. I said, oh, in my dream, I said, oh, remember you have an iPhone. So I grabbed my iPhone out of my pocket and I started taking pictures of in the 80s with my iPhone.
That
Do
was a big brick phone. Did you ever have a brick phone?
No, I had my actual iPhone that I have right now.
Yeah.
I had a brick
Wow.
phone back then, but my
Whoa.
today, my today was in my past dream. And when I woke up, I grabbed my phone and I was like, oh my God, do I have those pictures in there? Was like, wow, that was great
Wow, that's
because
bizarre.
I it was like I
Wow.
wanted to take a picture of my godmother and I wanted to take a picture of our backyard and all of those memories when I was a kid and I was like, ooh, in my dream I was like, ooh, when I wake up, I'm gonna have those pictures in my iPhone. I literally
Hmm.
believed that in my dream. When I woke up, I was just like, dang, when I grabbed the iPhone, I was like, dang, it didn't happen. But it's been great. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's
keep that book by your
bizarre.
bed because you'll have some great things in your book that you can then recall and said, this came to me. I find it to be in a divine way. That's almost like a divine, purpose um type of thing, but it's been very enjoyable that I can place my now self in these dreams and I'm very coherent of
Hmm.
what's happening. And it's almost I've told myself for 2026, what I want to do is I want to produce the dreams. You know what I mean? Like I want to be in the dream and make the dream happen the way I want it to happen. I don't know how to get there, but I'm excited about it.
Recreate it, yes.
Yeah, recreate it or produce it in some kind of way that it goes exactly the way I want it to go because these are my dream. I'm in control of them. But I think it's a retraining of the brain that has to happen. And I've been able to do bits and pieces, and I want to take it to the whatever that next level is. So for 2025, that's been very exciting. And I've always had very, very vivid dreams, lucid dreams, very, very,
Mhm.
very real
Yeah,
type
same
dreams, but
here.
I never wanted to write them down. I started doing it years ago, and then it just got out of hand because I was just like, oh my gosh. Now I'm just like, no,
Right.
you need to write that down. And I've given these dreams titles because some of them have just been, like I say, almost produced in my head to the point, but
Wow.
they're always really wonderful. I have really great dreams. I don't have,
Yeah, there's a good reason why that's happening.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's a good reason. I cannot
mhm.
wait to find out why. I cannot. Somebody said to me,
You'll have a dream about it, watch.
yeah, somebody said to me, you must be taking something before bed. I'm like, nothing at all, other than water.
No, no melatonin or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need anything. I'm letting my creative side come out in my life and in my dreams. So anything that you would like to leave the show today with, you'd like to share that in 2025, maybe it made an impact on you, or it was something that happened in the world or anything like that.
No excuses. So a
Exactly.
lot of us are actually existing. Start living because tomorrow's not promised. You walk out that door, you don't know if you're coming home.
So
So
true.
just do something that you're afraid of. Do like I talked about earlier, do something you've never done before,
Yeah.
pick up a hobby or, something fun, learn to play guitar, learn to paint. And there's just so many different things that you can do. And there's things you could do in your neighborhood that are under $100. A lot of people say they don't have money to travel. You can do local excursions. Just in Houston, there's all kinds of local stuff you
I
can do.
mean,
Start a
well, I
supper club.
love, let me tell you, those day trips, they pay off.
Hmm.
I'm like 2 hours away from Austin. My daughter and I, one day we were like, hey, let's go to Austin and get some pizza. We have a little favorite pizza place down there. We went down there, we shopped on 6th Street. We had a good time. We got some pizza. We came back home. I've got a snowmobile trip at the end of January, and the gentleman wants me to bring him some boudin and some Cajun food. So I told him, I said, you know what? That gives me a
Oh,
good
nice.
excuse to go up to Scott, Louisiana, which is about a couple hours from me. I'm gonna get him a case of boudin and take it down there because he's like, yeah, we never get any kind of Cajun food in New Mexico. I'm like, I got you. I'm gonna bring you some Cajun food. I'm like, I'm bringing you some gumbo and I'm gonna bring you some boudin and I'm gonna bring
Mm,
you a couple
yummy.
of things that I know you're gonna love. And I'm gonna bring you a case of boudin so you have it for several months instead of just that one time thing. And he was so excited. He called me yesterday and he goes, I just want to make sure we're still on for the 28th. I said, we are on, and I still got you on the Cajun food. And he was so excited. He said he cannot wait to be able to
Oh,
brag
wow.
about it. Yeah, he said I can't. He said I love it when folks from Texas or Louisiana come down here because y'all got the good food up there. He's like, we don't have that kind of good food over here in New Mexico. I'm like, that's okay. I'll bring it. I'll bring it to you. Well, I know for me, for 2025, I just felt like doing a lot of new things. One of the things I was really proud of myself is I taught myself how to curate my AI to speak in the manner in which I wanted to speak to me and the way I wanted to
Hmm.
procure the answers to me that I ask and without all the lies that it tells. Yes, it does. And then I taught myself in one day how to use I taught myself in one day how to use Canva. The story behind the Canva thing is I had a client. that I was coaching, who she was like a whiz in Canva, and she tried to teach me how to do it, and I just was so resistant to it. I just felt like I don't like the interface of how it works, and I just didn't like it. I'd been using something else that
Hmm.
worked for me and no longer worked for me. But this year I got on YouTube, YouTube University, of course, and I taught myself how to do Canva, and within 4 hours of sitting there and studying, after that, within 15 minutes, I'd created my first flyer, my first travel flyer, and it's been on and up
Oh
since
yeah.
then. And so I had been resisting something that took me no time to learn. But you know what they say, sometimes you just have to be in the right mind frame to say, today is the day I'm going to do it. It's kind of like when I certified my woman-owned business with the city of Houston. I'd avoided it for about 6 or 7 years. Well, several years ago, I decided, you know what, I'm going to spend this 2 weeks to get it done. I'm going to do all that paperwork that it requires. I'm going to do all those affidavits, everything that needs to be done so that I can get these 6 certifications for my business, because it's going to do nothing but take me to the next level. And so I had to just put everything aside, clear my desk of everybody else's stuff, all my stuff, and just say, I'm spending this 2 weeks to certify my business because I know where it can take me. And the proud moment was when I was finished, kind of like with Canva, when I created that first travel flyer. I was like, oh my gosh, I got it. It was a reward for myself to like pat
Yeah.
myself on the back and say, when you open up your mind to just go for something that you know is going to help you with the next levels of things, you kind of get the reward that you didn't even know that you needed at the time. And to reward yourself is so amazing. Again, that's back to saving yourself. You don't have to always look for outside things, outside rewards, and outside support. And you can kind of help yourself, and then other people can step in and help you as well. So, I would overall say, on a scale from 1 to 10, on a personal and professional level, 2025 was, I would say, a 9.5. And that is me deciding that I wasn't going to participate in all of the negative things in the world outside of me.
Hmm.
I've always decided, like even in 2008, when there was the big real estate problem, I just didn't participate.
French, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not participating in any of that. I'm not participating in the downturn of the economy. I'm not going to participate. And I found that
Yeah,
saying
no,
those
no
words,
politics, yeah, no racy subjects.
yeah, like I don't get involved at the level that it affects when I say real life, I mean the life I have when nobody's around, when I'm just sitting talking to myself, when I'm just sitting creating, and I'm just sitting and thinking, and I'm just sitting and thinking about, how I can serve, or how I can be of service to someone else, how I can refer somebody to somebody's business, or like you say, you reach out to 5 people a day. That's something I do every single day, is reach out to somebody I don't know, whether that's on Facebook. If I say, hey, I see that you offer this. Can I learn a little bit more about that? Or, hey, we have 44 other connections. We should be connected too, or something like that. Or if I see somebody asking a question in a Facebook post, something that I have expertise in, I'm going to answer that question. Or if I don't know, I'm going to tag the person who does know it. So being able to do that is serious. And then I kind of gamified it this year. So, the group called BNI, Business Network International, right?
Oh yes, I actually talked to him, and he can't believe that I've been a fan of B&I for
Now,
40 years because you don't
when you
even
say him,
know
you're talking about Ivan Meisner?
Ivan Meisner.
Yep, I
Yes.
had him on my podcast back in 2013 with Bob Berg. But yeah, Ivan lives up in Austin. He's pretty awesome. We used to be in NSA together too. But
Hmm.
one thing that I learned is that BNI has a rule that I love. You can visit any BNI twice before they ask you to be a member. Well, the thing that I learned in
Hmm.
2025 is that they have hundreds of groups all over the world, even in Spain, where I just came from, where you can meet
Oh
online.
yeah.
So what I've been doing is going
Hmm.
onto their national page, and I've been getting on the online networking and meeting people all over the world that are business owners. I started doing it about 6 months ago, and I have now been on
Yeah.
maybe about 50 different BNI groups. I've visited in person 3 that are local here, and then we visited a BNI when we were in Spain.
Hmm.
What I'm saying to you is there's always a way to meet new people. And if you're a person who you don't always need to go out and do it, you have so many groups right here at your own access. All you have to do is just tap in online. And I have found that BNI has been very interesting to kind of just jump on a new group once a week and just kind of introduce myself to. And I've built some pretty interesting relationships, but also I've been able to refer people to folks who have very unique businesses of what they're doing, of people that I don't already know that are local. And so it's been really interesting to talk to people in Georgia and people in California, all over Texas, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and other Mexico, different places. And I was like, when I met Ivan Meisner back in maybe 2005 or something like that, I didn't know how big this thing was or would be.
Oh, yeah.
Because right now
All
we
around
have
the world.
80,000 people meeting daily. That's big.
Wow.
That's a
Yeah.
legacy that he's setting up right now that is going to go so far that even when he's no longer here, they're going to still honor that for him just simply because they've built a really great group of people. So I'm very thankful that he has such a group. There's, five or six others that are like that too, but to be able to tap into something like that, just even yesterday, I'm looking at for the travel group and honing down everything for 2026. And we like to tap into different women's events and women's, all kinds of expos and stuff. And I ran across this event that happens in 7 different states, and they're trying to bring it to Houston and to Austin. I went to one in Las Vegas 3 years ago, and it was the big world's largest lantern event. That when you go in, they give you this lantern, you write down what you're releasing, and then at the end of the evening, after the concert and all that, you release these
Wow.
lanterns. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. If you go on our International Ladies of Purpose page, you'll see the lantern event there. It's the pictures do it no justice, but I was looking for, okay, what lantern event can I take the group to this year? Maybe in the fall or something like fall or spring or something, maybe even summer. And I found one that's coming to Austin and to Houston, and I went, oh, this is perfect. We don't have to go to Las Vegas.
Oh,
And now Las Vegas event got bought out by another company, and the tickets are no longer $90, they're $399. So I was like, no,
oh.
I want to go
Yeah.
somewhere that's going to be local. So I'm gonna get the ladies to go to this lantern event. I took a couple of members in 2023, and it just changed some things for them, like writing down what you're releasing, and then at the end of the night, watching. At this event we went to, there were probably 15,000 people, just watching 15,000 lanterns in the night sky. It's amazing. It's amazing to see people
Wow.
getting engaged during it, people crying, and people just, really like for me, when I play 100%. You're not going to get this 50-50
Hmm.
from me. I'm playing at 100. You can either bring your 50 or your 100, whatever you want to do, but I'm playing at 100%. And so to be able to go to that world's largest lantern event, I think they do it in Asia and in Las Vegas. That's it. And so to be able to
We definitely need to
participate
do
in
that
that,
together.
oh my gosh, it's amazing. So I signed up today for them to let me know when they release the 2026 dates for Austin or for Houston. And I said, anyone that you're going to do in Texas, let us know because I can get the girls to go somewhere in Texas. They're probably not going to be crazy enough to get on a flight to go to Vegas to do it in the, desert, which was amazing. They had food trucks set up. I mean, concert going
Wow. How do I not know about that? Yeah, and I'm in the chamber in Las Vegas too. I did not
on.
know about that.
You got to definitely tap into it because it's been doing it in Las Vegas for the last 12 years. So I went, like I said, in 23 and it was
Oh,
amazing. But I'm gonna get the ladies to go for 2026 because I feel like it's an event that we should do together. And now that we're up to, I think, 13 members, we got 4 more joining in the first of the year. So right now we're at 13 people, and I'm just like, come on, ladies. My goal is to have a 25 to 50 ladies in this group and to be able to go all over the world. So I've kicked off a campaign for January 1st. It's going to be each one bring one. Because if each one brings one, we meet our goal. We meet our goal if each one
hmm.
brings one. And I really just want people that actually want to go places with us, even if it's just a, end of the year trip. I have one lady that we go somewhere 3 or 4 times a year, and it's just around Texas. Like we're already signed up to go to this little antique show that's in February. Last year we went to Fredericksburg. This year she's like, Don, let's go to the antique show. I'm like, cool. There's an R&B food truck festival that's happening. We're going to that. We've got a couple other things, and I just got her. She's gonna go ahead and go on the Greece trip with us in December. So I'm just like, I just want to see as much as I can while I'm here on Earth to be able to share it with other people. I have so many people who say, Don, I live vicariously through you because you're traveling all the time. I'm like, I promised myself to take myself somewhere every month, even if that means to San Antonio, wherever. To me, if
Or
it's out,
California.
if it's out of my city, it's out of town. So, I'm gonna go somewhere, and if it takes a flight to get there, that's awesome too. And by the way, our retreat this year in June is gonna be in Aruba.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
we do
Okay.
an annual mastermind trip where we, plan, mastermind, vision board, just really, really, really fun opportunity for us to get together and really connect and help one another. Because I can guarantee you, with all of us together, somebody could ask a question. There's going to be at least one or two or three people who know the answer to it. Instead of having to go outside of people that you don't know if they know anything, like building the group that we're building with ILOP is like it's a movement. It's not just a travel group. And like I tell people, I'm not the only owner of the group, you're also an owner of the group because it's your travel group as well. I'm not a travel agent. I'm just a travel enthusiast, meaning that, for example, Angel said, "Oh man, her birthday's coming up in May," and she says, "I want to go to the Maldives." I say, "Let's put a birthday bash together for you." I said, "Let's invite
Hmm.
friends and we all go." I said, "My birthday's in September. I'm going to Morocco. I know where I'm going every year. When I leave that trip, I know where I'm going next year. I already booked the hotel and everything before I leave." And I'm like, "For September, I'll be in Morocco for half a month." So, let's start creating and curating these events where they can be around people's birthdays and they can be around celebrating. They can be, hey, divorce parties, whatever.
Yeah.
Just building a group of
Hey,
women that can
there's a
support.
divorce beach in Cabo.
Really?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't, but I'm writing it down. What is it
Yeah,
called?
when you take the Cabo Arts tour, which I'm going to be on there in a little over a week, yeah, one of the beaches is called Divorce Beach.
Wow, are you going on a cruise there? Or are you flying there?
Going on a cruise, yes, back to
Okay.
back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we definitely got to go on some trips and do some things together and, kind of really get face to face. I really love that. I've got a few people that are not in my state that I really want to make sure that they can connect. One of the ladies, Zandra, she's in Hawaii, but she's going to bring her sister and her best friend and another friend on the Greece trip. So that's four of them. Right now, I think I have 11 ladies signed up.
And I have some ladies who want to join that are in my business and also in my sphere of influence, so
That'll be
definitely
really awesome.
help you
Well,
grow as well.
well, 1 out of 10 for 2025, what would be your number you give it?
Ooh, I want to say 98%.
Yeah,
I learned a lot this year. I built some great relationships. I've ended some great relationships.
right, right. I understand.
And I've worked on more me time, and that's really a big focus that women need to do because working 7 days a week does not help. And when you go on vacation, think of some times where you're not taking any phone calls and stuff like that. Just shut down. My recent vacation, I actually did that. I didn't get any Wi-Fi. I took videos and photos when I was on port, but when I was on the ship, I was just there, watching people, enjoying stuff,
Yeah.
eating,
I tell you, people
eating,
watching is the best
and
pastime ever. I did the same thing for this
yeah.
trip. I didn't have any Wi-Fi. I didn't get the phone package from T-Mobile before I left. I just really took everything in. Just took everything in. Now, the 3 days that we were in
Mhm.
Barcelona before we went on the cruise, we had Wi-Fi, of course, in the hotel. I didn't even use it. Got on the cruise, I forgot I had a phone, and I took both of them. Forgot I had them. Got back to Barcelona, stayed 3 more days, went to London. I was just like on, hey. I'm going to enjoy this moment. I don't know when I'm going to be back over here. So I'm going to take in and enjoy my moments on the cruise and watching people dance and watching people, karaoke and just having a great
Yeah.
time. And by the way,
Well, and take
tomorrow,
an extra day. That's super important. So you're going to take after your trip
yes,
or your hotel trip or cruise trip.
yeah.
Like we took an extra day,
That's
and
right.
a couple of us actually stayed at the Margarita Resort in Orlando after the cruise because the
Oh,
cruise
nice.
is like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah. Yeah, we do
and
that
just to
same thing.
relax.
We go
Yeah,
through we have 3 days before we get on the cruise, and then we spend 2 or 3 days after the cruise just to kind of decompress, just to kind of wind down because
exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. Going on a cruise is work because I'm nosy. I'm so nosy, right? I want to know what's going on the ship. I want to know what's going on when I get off at the port. I want to know what's happening in the food place. I want to go to the dining room at nighttime. I want to go to karaoke.
And
I'm
you
gonna go to the
party. Yeah.
we partied like it was 1999 on this last cruise. I mean, oh, you'll be seeing the video. Well, some of the video you'll see and some of the video you cannot see, but we partied like it was 1999. I mean, yeah, yeah. It was a funky ass time. I mean, I was like, okay, it was my first time on MSC, by the way. And
Oh,
I've
lovely.
been on
Yes.
all of the other ships, but never had gone on MSC. So I said, I'm gonna try MSC. And of course, on every cruise, there's hiccups and things like that happening, but just as far as like the entertainment and all of that, we had a really great time. They had all
Hmm.
their
They're
theme. I
amazing
like to,
ships,
whatever
yes.
the theme party nights are. If they got a white party, I want to go. If they got a 1960s party, I want to go. If they've got whatever, I want to go. Karaoke, I'm there. So I like to
Mhm.
participate in all of the things. And I'm not a night person, but when I go on a cruise, I happen to be a whatever time person because I
Yeah, I
schedule
know.
my
I got to
downtime.
bed at like midnight because we have those amazing videos where you could watch TV or TV. You could watch a movie right there on the deck. It was really amazing. We've
We
seen
were
some
going
really
to bed at
good.
2 and 3 in the morning because we were shutting the club down. We were
Ah,
in there, we were in there hanging out with the 20 and 30-year-olds. So we forgot.
hmm.
Again, age is nothing but a number because I'm telling you, we thought we were 20 and 30. But again, I don't party and go out or hang out at nighttime when I'm at home ever. Not even for
Yeah,
not even for birthday parties or anything. I don't go out at nighttime, just simply don't drive at night. But when I'm on a cruise, I feel like I can just do whatever I want to do. So
and
I
let
enjoy
loose.
myself. Just kind of living like there's no tomorrow, or like I say, partying like it's 1999. So yeah, I can remember 1999's parties were amazing. So it was really, really
Thank
good. Well, thank you so much, Miss Cindy, for being here
you,
to do
dear. Thank
this end
you.
of the year review. I love to do this every year, and I'm actually excited and looking forward to what kind of things will be happening for 2026. I said I'm going to do better for 2026 and kind of do a monthly tally so that when I do get to the end of the year, then I don't have to try to remember anything. I can just kind of go to
Oh,
my
that's
little
a great
tally and
idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
start looking at things because I started a tally in 2024, right when it was ending. I started a little tally and it was just so much going on so fast. I had to kind of say, okay, I'm not putting any negative things in there, only all the things that were supportive to
Really
our lives.
positive.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And so when I did the end of the year review last year, it came out really good. So I'm going to do that again for 2026 is highlight every month those wins every single month and lessons learned and things like that and just kind of keep track of it. So by the time I get her next year, I'm like, okay, well, you got anything planned for the New Year Eve?
Sleep. I have the fundraiser first thing in the morning on the
Yeah,
first. Yeah. I
yeah.
usually just chill at the house or, watch a movie
Yeah.
on Netflix or something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'll probably do
Yeah.
my typical thing if I'm not out of town. I'm sure I won't because I just got back. I'll probably do like the New Year's Rockin' Eve, and I think there's a
Oh, yeah.
couple of other evening events just to kind of see the concerts and the people and watching them freeze in the cold while I'm over here in 75-degree weather in Houston.
Right?
It was the hottest Christmas ever this year. I think it was this type of weather that started me 10 years ago to say, no, I'm gonna go skiing or snowmobiling because I wanna see what real snow looks like. We don't get real snow here. So I was like, I want to see, and that was the first year that I packed up the kids, and they were just, teenagers. I packed them up and we went to Park City, Utah. And that just changed my life forever as far as wanting to be somewhere cold once a year. I did decide for 2026 that probably the following winter, which will be 2027, I do want to go snowmobiling in Switzerland. So that's kind of on my bucket list.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely a
snowmobiling.
good bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've been
Yeah.
wanting to go to Switzerland for a while now, and I found out that they've got an amazing park where you can rent the snowmobile and just kind of go all over the park and for as much time as you want to. So I'm just like, that's gonna be cool because we've done the Colorado, we've done the Utah, we've done the Mexico City, Taos, New Mexico. We've done all different types of places, and I'm just like, okay, I think I want to go out of the country and do a snowmobile trip. And if I go by myself, fine. If I find people who want to go, that's fine too. But it's
Hmm.
something that I've done annually now for this year will be the 10th year. And I've already got 6 people signed up to go with me and my kids as well. So kind of excited about that. But um, travel is something that I'm not planning on slowing down. If anything, it's going to ramp up just simply because there's so many opportunities. And I'm trying to get the ladies to understand how fun day trips can be or
Hmm.
weekend getaways can be, things like that, where at least you get a little bit of a reset instead of just going the whole year and not doing anything. Nah, we got to do something. We're
And
ladies.
that's how you build relationships. I think we talked about on your show last time I was on
Yeah,
is connect with your people on Facebook. Let's use as an example or TikTok or wherever
that's
that you
right.
really know.
Yeah.
And like, because I live 20 minutes from Newport Beach. So coming up
Mhm.
on the 14th of April is National Dolphin Day. So a lot of our local friends will get together. Some people I know, some people I don't.
Oh,
And that's a good way to
nice.
build a relationship and take it outside of business and just be, good personal friends and create those memories.
Oh man, that's gonna be really great. That's awesome. I remember when my daughter graduated from high school, she wanted her trip to be to Florida. And so we went there and went to Disney, went to Tampa, all of that. And she took a friend with her, and her friend was like, I've never seen dolphins before. I was like, really, babe?
Oh,
She said, yeah, we don't travel. We don't get to travel, and that's why I always go with y'all. I said, you know what? We going to see the dolphins. So we went and did the little speedboat thing, and she got to see the dolphins follow the boat. When I tell you,
oh, they love
she's
that. Yes.
31 years old now, and she still talks about it. She's like, remember
Hmm.
that one time we went to see the dol-" I was like, yeah, I remember. I was so proud to be able to do that for her because as a kid, she was 18. It changed like, oh my gosh, I got to see the dolphins. She was so excited. And I was thinking, it's the little things. It doesn't have to be
It's
big.
30 or $40. It's not even that expensive. And you're welcome to come out here to California. We could do that. Newport Beach.
Yeah. So you said you're only a few minutes away from there, huh?
About 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You got to let me know when there's something going on there and I can tap into it. And I was looking at tickets literally in October, November. I was going to come up there to see my friend in LA. She's in San Gabriel. And tickets from Houston were like $80 round trip,
How much?
like $80.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God, I could go to LA anytime. I was telling some girls, I'm like, we got to go to LA. I'm like, I know LA very well. When I go there, I rent a car and I go wherever I want to go. But I told my friend, I said, you know what? I may just come in February because January, I've got a couple things. February, the travel group, we're going to have a Galentine's brunch together.
Oh, very
And
nice.
I don't think there's any other, I can't think right now, but I'm sure. Oh, February, I got the antique thing, which is a couple of hours away, but that's just a
How about
weekend.
April? What's going on for April?
April, we have Curacao. Our group is going to Curacao.
Oh, what day?
April, I think the starting date is on the 12th or something like that. I've got the calendar we're gonna be talking about tomorrow. We've got the dates to everything right now. Now 2027, I'm going wild, girl. 2027, I'm doing an event that I've been wanting to do for 5 years.
Do
There's a
tell.
In Thailand, there's a water gun fight festival that they do every April
Wow.
for
Wow.
for three
Okay.
days. And I forgot the name of it, but I've been wanting to do it for 5 years. I looked it up the other night and I said, okay, 2026, I can't do it because I'm going to Curacao. But for 2027, I'm there. I am there. I don't care who else is there with me. I'm doing
Mhm.
that world's national. They got Guinness Book World Record for the biggest water gun fight festival. It's a parade and a festival with nothing but
Wow.
water guns and water guns. People from all over the universe comes to this event.
I should do that for 2029 because 2027, we're going to do Chicago.
Okay.
2028, we're doing Jamaica. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
2028 is a leap year, so I always do something really special for leap year. I haven't figured out, but me and Angel were talking about it the other day. She said, "What did you do last year, leap year?" And I told her what I did. I said, "I woke up 2 days before leap year was coming, and I packed a bag and I went to the airport and I said, okay, well, what's flying out in the next 2 hours?"
there you go.
And
Spontaneous.
I ended up in Mexico, and
Mm-hmm.
I did leap year in Mexico and came back home. And I was so happy with that. The year before that, I forgot what. Oh, I did a kite festival for leap year in
Oh,
Louisiana. So coming up in 2028 is leap year, and I'm like, what kind of weird thing I can do? And you know what? I love what you said earlier when you said, just go skydiving. Do you know that in 2023 I woke up on my birthday and I said, I want to know what a cloud smells like.
hmm.
So I drove about an hour and a half away and I went skydiving. It had been
Yeah, I
on my
did that
bucket
in
list and I was
19.
ready to get the red pen. My bucket list is in a binder. And when I complete things, I get to mark it off with a red pen. Like the day before New Year's, I always grab my binder and I look at all the things that were on my bucket list that I've been able to do, and I start crossing off with my red pen and I put the date next to it. This bucket
Nice.
list I started maybe about 15 years ago. It's about that big. And so I get excited when I see all the things and I keep adding things to it and things like that. But that water gun fight for 2027, I'm there. I'm there
You
because
have the
it's like,
dates for that?
yep, it is. I just looked at it the other night because I was like, yeah, Don, we got to do that. And so 2027 Water Gun Fest and Thailand. When I was in Thailand in 2023, I was like, oh man, I'm here at the wrong time. I was there in November. So it's April 13th through 15th every year. And
Oh,
so
okay. It's right before bucket list day. Yeah, bucket list day is
and
the 24th.
it's called the Song Crane Festival, and
Oh,
it celebrates the real New Year, which is in April, and it's in Bangkok, it's in Chiang Mai, and it's in Patois. I was there in 2023 in all of those places. So those are where the parade zones are. So I'll probably do mine in Bangkok because that's the wildest one. Chiang Mai, they're pretty settled. They're wild, but Pattaya, they're pretty settled. Bangkok is going to be ridiculous. Bangkok is
that's
so much
awesome.
fun and people are so friendly. I've got a really good friend who's in my car club, who lives in Dallas, and I told him about it. He said, "Oh, baby, I'm there." He said, "I'm from Vietnam and didn't even know about it." He said,
Oh,
"How
wow.
did you find out about it?" I said, "Because I'm on a bunch of travel groups." And I see where people are going and what they're doing. And when I investigate, I go, yeah, that's something I want to do. Just like Barcelona, Spain. It's somewhere I've been wanting to go for a couple of years. And when we pulled it out of the bucket list and
Hmm.
Spain was there, I was like, oh my gosh, I get to do it. And everybody else was excited because they wanted to do it as well. So, yeah, so that water gun thing in 2027, I've already marked it on my 2027 calendar. I've already put
How
all,
about the Fallas Festival?
say it again.
Fallas Festival, Fallas. It's in Valencia, Spain, and it's a big
F
like
A
paper
F
mache
A L L A
city.
S.
Fallas.
F A
That's been on
L
my
A.
list for about 10 years. It definitely, I want to do that during my
What
60th.
month is it?
I believe it's March. You could just look it up.
Okay,
Just do,
so the Falles Festival, Las Falles, it's a vibrant. Ooh, this looks like the one I want to do in Italy. But
Mhm,
okay, okay, it's in Valencia, Spain. Oh,
mhm.
March 14th through 19th.
Okay.
Honor and
There you
Saint
go.
Joseph of the Girl.
Yeah, that's huge on my list.
We need to do that in 2028 for leap year. You know, leap year is going to be in February, but this will be great to, continue the year. We need to do that for 2028.
Yeah, we need to talk about
That
that.
looks exciting. There's
Yes,
a
yes. And I need a good paella dish for sure.
on in our bucket list that we have right here. One of my places that I've been wanting to go to in Italy, there's a confetti festival.
Oh, wow.
And they do it in front of this big, huge, well-known church. And confetti comes from out of the sky and it covers the whole. So people get married, people get engaged. Let me see if I can look it up. It's in a place that I
Oh.
cannot pronounce, but let me look it up. Confetti Festival.
Well, since we're talking about festivals, a Caribbean festival, I hear that's in Atlanta, Georgia. Have you ever been to that? I think that's in May.
Really? It's not in the Caribbean?
No, it's in Atlanta. One of my agents told me about that a couple years ago.
Because we have a Caribbean festival here that we do too.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
That would be good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's always that confetti festival in Italy is always it's always in Venice, Rome, and what is it called? Viaggio. It says either January or February. I'm gonna pull that up. And then you said the Caribbean Festival because we've got so what we did with our list for this year is we are tapping ourselves into some bigger things to network even better. Like for example, Taste of Chicago, but we're gonna go to the Taste of
Ooh.
Louisiana. The Taste of Louisiana is coming up this year. So we've got that on the calendar. We've got the
Is that the Sachmo Festival?
say it again.
Sachmo Festival?
Where in
You ever been
Louisiana?
there? Mm-hmm.
No, the one that we're going to
That
taste.
it's really hot for Sachmo. That's a really amazing event. And I believe that's the first week of August. I went there for my 50th 10 years ago. But
Oh.
yeah, Sachmo Festival, Louis Armstrong Festival.
So the food festival, Taste of Louisiana, is coming up spring of 2026. I got on the waiting list to get the dates because I've got the group to kind of buy into all of these things. And I'm like, weekend getaways can include activities. Like, for example, the Taste of
Mhm.
Baton Rouge or the Taste of Louisiana. It's only a 3-day event. We can go down there and have a great weekend and come back. The Taste of Chicago is only a 1 week type of thing. I've been to it before. Going to different festivals, things like that. We're tapping in. I told them, I said, we need to tap into, like, for example, the Ultimate Women Expo. We're coming to the one in LA and we're going to the one in Atlanta, Georgia. The one in Atlanta, Georgia has now taken over the Houston spot. They don't come to us anymore. Georgia has gotten so big, they do two. They do one in May and one in November now. I used to go to that festival. There would be
Wow.
10,000 women and over 800 markets set up. They left Houston after COVID was over and they tried to come back and nobody showed up like they were supposed to. So they took it to Dallas, and Dallas kind of did good until they took it to Atlanta. They took it to Atlanta and it was over. Atlanta said, "Oh, we got you." And so people come from North Carolina, from Florida, and every way to go to the one in Atlanta. So under the Ultimate Women Expo, I kind of looked up all the dates. So the ones that I'm interested in is the one that's going to be in Tennessee, the one that's in LA, the one that's in Atlanta. I don't want to go to the one in Miami anymore because that one is all about plastic surgery and all of that. So there were like
Oh,
not a whole lot of other vendors and stuff. If you weren't getting some kind of surgery, the vendors were not interested in talking to you. So, but we will be coming to the one that's in LA, the one that's in Tennessee, and
when
so
is LA?
the one in LA, and
Is
this
it
is
actually
annual.
LA or is it Orange County?
I think it's going to be in Orange County, to be specific.
Oh, Anaheim?
Ultimate Women's Expo, LA.
Very
All
nice.
right, so Los Angeles Women's Expo. So it's going to be, so that one said it'll have 200 vendors. It is
Wow,
coming
that's good.
up. Let me see, LA, LA, LA. Okay, so on this list, Los Angeles, okay, they don't have the dates out, but it's going to be October of 2026.
Oh, okay.
Orange County is already sold out. You can't even go to that one. It's already sold out
Ooh.
already. And so now I'm just waiting on them to put all the new let me
Do
show
you
it.
know what city the LA one is in?
I'm gonna show it to you.
Is it right in
So
LA?
can you see it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Oh,
the one
Miami's sold out. Oh, Arizona's open.
in LA, it's gonna be at the LA, which y'all got a convention center or something, right?
Probably by Staples,
Yeah, probably so. I
right
was
across
trying
from
to see if it
Staples.
listed it, but it didn't. Los
Mhm.
Angeles. So it's going to be in October of 2026 because it was in 2025. Miami is sold out. Orange County is sold out. New York is sold out. And they just started doing New York last year. Atlanta, they
Hmm.
have
Can't believe I never
the
heard
new
of it.
date. Chicago. Oh, you have? I've been going to this for 20 years. My mom and my
Oh,
sisters and my daughters,
that's
we used to
cool.
get
Yeah.
together and it was like a Saturday thing that we would do here in Houston. And the last one we went to, like I said, it had over 10,000 women that attended and over 800 booths that was set up. It was a full day event, and then in the evening we would go out and have dinner with each other and stuff. So it was like a what I'm getting the ladies to do for this year, 2026 coming up. Let's tap into bigger things so that we can get bigger rewards from it. And rewards are meeting people, meeting new people, going to
Yeah.
other places and tapping into these women events and things. And Austin has a lot of women's event things that are coming up as well. And just having more fun. And if it's a weekend thing and only 5 or 6 of us get together, so be it. If I go by myself, so be it. Just being
Hmm.
able to tap into those things are rewarding, and doesn't take much to get on a flight and come 3 hours over to LA. Nope, it's not a big deal at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
you're pretty close. Just like 2.5 hours, I think.
pretty
Take from
close. I
yeah,
mean, if
yeah.
it was any closer, I'd be there more. Like Mexico is why I'm always going to Mexico because 2, 3 hours I'm there. Cancun, hour and a half, I'm there. Hour and 40 minutes, I'm there.
Hmm. Yeah.
Even Mexico City was only 3 hours away. So that's
Wow.
why I
Oh,
love
that's a
it.
beautiful city, and that's
Oh my God.
definitely a culinary mecca as well.
Oh my gosh, Mexico City
Yeah.
was
So
it was
the people are
everything.
so amazing there too. I have a guy I met at a conference a couple years ago, and he travels from New York to Chicago, different places, Mexico City, and he had some really great stories to talk about. He even talked about how some of the places he's traveled, like the airport, has like these great places to enjoy because he
Yeah.
does like this culinary thing. He does all these culinary vacations.
Oh,
So he
that's
was
fun.
just giving some really good nuggets out there. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. That's one thing we learned about the London airport is that they have a Louis Vuitton breakfast brunch place.
What?
Yeah.
I love it.
You learn so much when you look into what to do. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Well,
Wow.
I'm glad that your
Yeah.
was at 98%. I'm glad that mine was at a 9.5 as well. And I just feel like
Hmm.
it's just going to get bigger and better and just tapping into some great things that are happening and there's a lot going on and I literally sit and spend hours trying to figure out where the fun is, where the excitement is going to be, how can we tap into those, type of things. And so I'll be keeping you update on the lantern event and talking
Okay.
more about the water gun thing and the Fallas event. And, planning is everything. And if you plan in advance, you can pretty much do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
I have
pretty much
one
do it.
last tip before we close out today.
Okay.
So if you are a member of the chamber or someone who networks, you know how they have the evening networks or they have like the breakfast networks. Instead of just handing your card to the people you meet, go up to someone, ask them what the best referral is, have them give you a few sentences of what the best referral is, work the room, come back, either introduce that person to them or get the business card of that person. Because a lot of times people say, Cindy, I want to get to know you. I said, well, today's not about me. It's about Sally. I want to connect you to Sally. Let's meet for lunch here in a couple days. But if you're the connector, that's super powerful because a lot of people at Chamber, they're just going like this
Yeah.
or whatever networking, like
Yeah.
live network.
I call it the card shuffle. It's like they're playing
Yeah.
cards.
And
Yeah.
it goes right into El Garbajo. No.
It does. And now that
Yeah.
people have these QR codes and they're tapping phones and doing all this, the essence of handing someone your card is almost like mute now if you don't do it right. Because if you just,
I still have a paper card. I have a QR code that goes to my digital card, so
that's right.
we can be in each other's phone. But as far as the whole business aspect of it, it's a relationship first, always.
It's always going to be the
Yeah.
relationship. That's what's going to get you to wherever it is that you're trying to get, whether it's create a friendship with someone or to build your business. That's what it's literally about if you do it right. That's
Mm-hmm.
a great tip. All right then, lady. Well,
All right.
onward and upward for both of us for 2026. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it and happy early new year to you. And I'm excited about
Thank
it.
you. All right.
All right,
Okay.
Cindy, I'll talk to you
Yeah.
soon.
All right, baby.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's talk about it. I gotta admit, proud of who you become and everything that you've done. Mother and daughter are always greater when they're together. Everything's better. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo.
I don't get on TikTok like that.
It's not on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. That's on IG.
Anything you see on IG is on TikTok.